Hey, it's Alenka, and we're going to have a look at the Thyroid Plus, which is a thyroid profile. So it's a serum test, so it does require a blood draw, and this is what it would look like. So it's a nice one sort of sheet report, if you like, and it breaks it down into three key sections. This, as the name suggests, it's very specific to thyroid health. But thyroid conditions can underpin a heck of a lot of other conditions and symptoms. So in particular, our thyroid is, sort of thyroid hormone is our sort of master regulator. It's sort of our chief metabolic hormone in some ways. And if it's not working well, if it's not sufficiently being produced, that can have huge impacts on lots of other areas of our health. For instance, we can end up with more of a sluggish motility in terms of digestive function. We can be very fatigued. It can impact our temperature. It's sort of a master regulator. So it can impact a whole heap of areas. It heavily works with our adrenal function as well. So if we are experiencing heaps of stress and things like that, we can see alterations in our thyroid function. So this is a really nice test to do alongside an adrenal stress profile, or you can do it as a standalone just to further understand what might be going on with your thyroid. So the three breakdowns we've got is central regulation. So we start off with our pituitary gland, which is where we secrete TSH, which is our thyroid stimulating hormone. And this is sort of the start of the cascade of hormone sort of messaging, if you like. And what we then want to do is obviously then tell our thyroid to start producing thyroid hormone. So we start off with T4, and we want that to then convert to T3, which is the active version of thyroid hormone. And we can then assess, are we even producing enough TSH as a starting point? Then are we actually telling our thyroid to then produce T4? Are we then converting it to T3? And is it sufficiently being utilized at that point? If not, it might be actually getting then converted into something else called reverse T3, which is an inactive version. So this is very commonly what happens when we're in huge states of stress, trauma, even certain toxicity. Maybe medications can also drive that response. Very, very big area to explore what this pattern is if that happens. And we then very nicely have the antibodies to thyroid. So if there's an autoimmune component there, we'll be able to find that out. This is especially helpful if you already suffer with any other autoimmune conditions. It's quite common to have more than one. And so you can assess, whether thyroid issues that you're suffering with might be autoimmune related. And then that would also change sort of how you target thyroid health. So lots of things to uncover in this particular report, which could then bring a heck of a lot of answers to why you might be feeling the way you are. And the best thing is then we have the answers to then really work on rebalancing everything. There is one more page to this test, which is here, and it just shows you exactly the same results, but in a sort of a flow diagram. So this is where we start off with the pituitary producing TSH, which then messages to the thyroid to produce T4. And then ideally, we want to be going down to this pathway to produce T3 and avoiding this one. But we can then obviously assess, which one's sort of more in favor. And then, we've also got the autoimmune aspect to have a look at as well. So that is the thyroid panel. I will leave you with that and let us know if you have any questions on it, and I'll see you in the next one.